Hey, everybody. I'm Dr. DiVincenzo. I'm your professor for this online Gen Chem 1 1110 course. You can all call me Dr. D. That's what most students call me over the years, just a little bit easier. And what this is a short introductory video to simply get you familiar with our layout of our D2L page. You're all supposed to be, kind of comfortable with D2L. And if not, you've got resources to get comfortable. This is really to help you quickly navigate and learn where things are and how to get started on certain things you need to get a hold of and purchase and that type of thing. So I'm going to share my screen with you and just take you to our page. Okay, so this is our page, and it might look slightly different than what you're seeing simply because this gets updated and changed, and I use it for multiple semesters. So I want you to pay attention to the overall layout rather than details. And as usual, everything you're familiar with, course home, content, assessments, communication, all this across the top. I'm not going to go through that. Like I said, that's something you're expected to know. Specifically for our course, you found the video here. This is our introduction. Over here on the right is important contact information. I want to point out that my email address you need to email me is through the D2L. And I would really be best if you could do it through this page and not from an email app or whatever in which you're just typing in my name, because that comes in as an external email, not from internally within D2L, and it does not get put into our course email. So it gets kind of mixed in with everything else. And if you do that, I might have a little bit more difficulty finding and also getting back to you in a timely manner. So I suggest, here's the email up here. You do it through this, whether you're on your computer, your tablet, whatever, that doesn't matter as long as you go through D2L email. Okay. Also on the right here, you've got 4 key documents that you're going to be using throughout the semester. That's why they're linked here. They're also under content. This is just really taking you to those links under content, which I'll show you in a bit. But you might want to print these out and highlight them. You don't have to print out the syllabus. It's kind of big and it's an HTML document. But these 3 are useful. You can have that schedule right in front of you, the assignment where all the due dates and all of that. Okay. What I'm going to do now is take you into content and show you the layout. So of course, you've got your course overview here telling you about the course. Eventually you'll have a schedule with dates and stuff like that here, but there's nothing there now. You've got your course introduction telling you, okay, lecture syllabus, lab syllabus that will be coming, how to be successful in the course schedule and assignment. These are the important things that you're going to need to want to get familiar with after you've gotten comfortable with the basics of the course. And that is what's expected of you, your D2L skills and all of that. You want to get your purchase, your textbook, your smart work, your lab manual, and goggles from the bookstore. There's links here. I'll show you. This is how you complete this course. Each course has a module. In those modules, a bunch of resources. Okay. And then there's assessments that have deadlines. You'll be using your course schedule and your assignment schedule to keep up to date with that. But you have outlines, you have videos, you have readings within your book, you have slides, and you have practice sheets. You have quizzes, smart work, discussions, exams, and ultimately labs. The lab is separate. You have to register separate. There's nothing here with lab. That will be completely different. There's no materials here for lab. Okay. Now, under the course introduction, you also have your Norton resources here. This shows you this link, how to register for smart work with D2L. This will ultimately be the smart work link once you're registered. And if you purchase the ebook, you'll have a link also. Not sure how that works. I get it for free, of course. But what you'll need to do anytime you do smart work, you're going to come in through your D2L page. If not, it's going to be asking you for some sort of course code. If you're asked for a course code, you're not accessing D2L correctly. Smart work correctly. Smart work is required and graded. You'll see that in the syllabus. It's part of your grade. You need to get that. You need to get your textbook and all the materials you need. I'm not going to go to the smart work link now. You'll see it once you get up and running, and I will show it to you real quick, actually, so you can see what it looks like. It's going to look like this. Okay, I'm not signed in right now, but it'll take you to something like this with our book right there, 3rd edition of the book. Okay, I don't want that there. I need to close this here. Okay, now going back to content, other online resources. The Norton one's the important one. I need you to know there's D2L stuff here. You've got instructor biography. What I want you to look now is each module. There's a checklist for a module. There's a bunch of resources, and then there's the assessments. And the quizzes are not set up yet in this particular video, but eventually you'll have a quiz. Also, that's available there. So you'll have a quiz for each chapter and then an exam for each module. So you can see there's 5 modules, 5 exams, a quiz for each chapter, and all of the modules have 2 chapters except for module 2, which only has 1 chapter, which means there's 9 quizzes. You'll get to drop your 2 lowest. You'll see that on your syllabus. You'll get to drop your lowest exam. Here's a checklist, and I don't do this in detail because I have the How to Be Successful in This Course document. And this is something you're going to want to print out and look at repeatedly. It's going to tell you how to literally go through in a sequential, logical fashion each module. So my checklist is pretty sparse. It's basically, here it is. You've got a discussion post. Then I want you to pull up that document to know how to go through the module, respond to 2 discussion posts. There's going to be deadlines for those. Review your resources and complete your assessments. Let's go back here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the resources so that it populates over here. And then you can see the description of each of these. When you don't do this and you're just under the module 1, it doesn't show you under the resources the description of each of these. It looks like a lot of materials here. So if you click on the actual resources, we get a description. And for every chapter, you're going to have an outline. The outline's got what it tells you here, important concepts. This is useful for taking your quiz. It's got an introductory video, which I do with my iPad to introduce you to the important material. Then you got, these are identical. They're just 2 different formats. They are the slides, the PowerPoint slides that I use for a lecture course that's on the ground. Chapter 1 review. This is the video lecture I actually use, or I gave lecture for my on the ground course. You would now have access to that. And that's what you get for each chapter. Chapter 2 is repeated here. And in this case, there's 2 video lectures because it was spread over 2 days. And then you have a practice for exam 1. These practices are the lectures in which I go over solving exercises to help you prepare for the exam. They are taken from past exams. So there are questions very similar to what you'll see, and we actually go through them in the lecture. So you have videos for all of this stuff, and that's what this is here. So that's really your content. Your assessments, that's where you're going to find your quizzes and exams, and that'll become more clear as we go forward. And then I want to show you the discussions, and that's where we'll end this video. Now, these discussions, there's an introductory one for you just to introduce yourselves, and I've done that already for me. My thread's already there. The required discussions, you'll see they're not actually graded for points, but they're used in assessing grades, because what I do is I look at students that are borderline, and I look at several things. I look at class engagement through discussion and interactions with me, along with signs of improvement. That's all taken into account for signing final grades. So if you don't do a discussion, you don't lose any points. But if at the end of the semester you finish up with an 88 or 89, you get a B+ in the course. I look at discussions and signs of improvement to decide whether to give you an A. That's where the discussions come into play. And I'll have a discussion for each chapter that's pertinent for that material. Okay. And then there's also an opportunity for you to just ask questions and have other students chime in. And I will monitor that and chime in if I feel like I need to. Okay. So that's going to be important, section 2. Otherwise, you know, I think everything else is either forthcoming that I'll explain later, or self-explanatory through your just knowledge of D2L. So I'm going to stop my share there. And that completes the video, just an opportunity to get you kind of familiar with the material that's out there and what you have.